she was going through chemo and still coming back to work. I know that my wife can attest I'm not a good sick patient, so I'm sure I would not have done nearly that well, but to not have a clue, if she hadn't told you or somebody hadn't told you that she was going through chemo or radiation, you wouldn't know it by the way she acted at work, and that just really showed a lot to me and everybody that she worked with. Like Israel said, the quality of her work and the technical, just always wanting to be the best, but also to make everybody around her be the best without ever making them feel inferior or like she caught them in something. As a quality engineer, your job is to look for what's not working, make sure it's perfect, but she always made you feel like she was part of your team trying to help. And so we developed, I retired from Raytheon a couple years ago, and we started developing a close relationship with the Andells getting together, and so it really hurt when I learned that she was going through chemo again. And then, like Israel said, when I got that email, I couldn't believe it. I told Patty it was just like a surreal dream. But as Bill said, she was the happiest place, and you see in those pictures the happy person that you'd hoped we all could become. So I don't have a lot to say, but I miss her, and I know that she's looking down at us and protecting all of us too.
I met Tao through Bill and Dave, my husband. They worked together, and they decided we needed to meet, and we went on some bike rides together. And Bill and Dave would be way out ahead of us and doing wherever they went. I don't know, they'd circle back, and Tao and I would just plod along, riding our bikes. I mean, of course, we couldn't keep up to them. And we'd go out sometimes, went out a few times for dinner and things like that, and got to know Tao. And probably my favorite story about Tao is one time we went to the farmer's market in Rincon Valley. I don't know if you remember this, Bill. And Tao and I, we just had a fun day together, but she was determined that day to buy some baby chicks and baby ducks at the farmer's market. And I'm like, Tao, I don't think you have a house, they lived in Savano at the time, that you want to be raising chickens and ducks in your backyard. You're not, oh, Bill won't mind, he'll understand. So I said, well, why don't we do this? Why don't we go back and you can tell Bill about the baby ducks and the baby chicks, and he can take you next week and he can buy them for you. And she goes, okay, but I'm sure it'll be okay. Well, I never heard about those baby ducks and baby chicks again, so her and Bill must have worked out that they were not going to get them. But anyways, Tao was always a joy to be with. I loved her smile, and her friendship meant a lot.
My name is Kumiko Hegman. I work with the Tao in the GSA program. But before that, I'd like to show my the sincere condolence to Tao and Bill and Bill and Bill's family. I have known Tao about for 3 years. I worked with her. She was the software and quality engineer in the JSL. She was very friendly and pleasant, yet very fun person to work with. I had lots of fun working with her. Yet she was very technically excellent and very sharp and very smart engineer. So I have an episode like this. She and I went through all the testing, and the result was displayed on the as a monitor. So we witnessed that all the tests was passed, and so I told her that okay, all good. So now you witness that the test is passed, and then she said, "Wait, Kumiko, I can't let this go. I have the red line." I said, "What?" And so she said, the requirement number displayed on the monitor didn't match to the requirement number in the test procedure. So I have to mark as a red line. I had so many red lines in my test procedures, probably almost twice as much as you did, Israel, in the past, the quality engineer did. So I had a very difficult time at the the review board to explain why I had so many the red lines. Not only that, she was also the person who wanted to serve to our customer, who providing the best software to product. So she often asked me explain why this test method verifies this particular requirement, and often I could not answer. So she gave me a homework to work on. So I remember that hard time. And also, she wanted also learn a lot of things about the very technical the things, how the weapon system works. So she tried to learn that while she was witnessing basically the test process. I tried to explain to her best I can do, and she absorbed everything. And I believe that such a high attitude and also philosophy is because she wanted to do her job the best, and also provided the best software, the quality. We had also lots of fun during the break, and also during the time while we are processing the test. We chat a lot. We talked about a lot of things. We talked about our work, mainly about these work issues. We also talked about our life. We talked about our health and illness. We also talked about, of course, we are the women. So we talked about the shopping, where we go shopping, which store is the best. Somehow, Tao was so fascinated about the fact that I go to the 99-cent store because I'm so frugal. I love to just buy the cheap product in India. So she was so fascinated. And one day, so she searched in Google, and then how many is a 99-cent store in Tucson. So she was so fascinated to tell me that, Kumiko, there are so many as a 99-cent store in Tucson. So is this a good store? Is that the store you go? I said, nope, not that one. But she and I shared about lots of stuff about shopping. And of course, we talked about the food and cooking. So it was such a joy to talk to Tao. And our chat never ended. And we took every single opportunity to talk. She was such a hard worker. So often, she and I end up with the last person before that Randy was so close up that at the lab. So at that time, we walked to the parking lot on the way to go home, and we talked about lots of stuff. And one day, in a really cold winter, that's after I came back from my Japan trip, I showed her the pictures which I took in Japan. So she was just so fascinated to look at all these pictures, the beautiful temples and statues of Buddhas, and also great dishes, which I took at the Japanese restaurant. So she told me that one day she wants to, travel alone in Japan with Abel. So she was really looking forward to go to Japan. And then the Tao, transferred to the airport site from the Riddle Road site. So since then, I didn't see her a lot. But one day, the Barbara Nelson sent me an email, hey, Kumiko, would you like to go to this James show? And then I came up to the idea that maybe Tao might enjoy that too. So I pinged on Tao that, would you like to go to the James show? And she said, absolutely. So we went to the James show, and it turned to be a very beautiful memory in my heart at that time. of course, we are so fascinated to look at these sparkly the gems, but mainly we are so fascinated. We could chat again. We talked about a lot. As everybody knows, Tao is a cancer survivor. She battled with her cancer over the 18 years. About 2 years ago, she came to me and she told me, "Kumiko, great news. I'm cancer-free now." And I was just so happy when she told me. I think, Bill, you supported her such a long years. You battled with her about her cancer, together with her. Your true love really made that miracle happen. And I know her cancer came back, but I knew that even if her cancer comes back, and I knew that you and Tao could make that the miracle happen again, over and over again. And then this tragedy happened, and I just had a very difficult time to process my sadness and sorrow. So Tao touched my life deeply with her inspiration, great inspiration.